Hello friends, welcome to Programming with Rakesh. In this video, I'm going to explain how easy it is now to create a dialog box in HTML. If you are already a web developer, front-end web developer, you must have worked on dialog boxes. So when user clicks on some button, a dialog box pops up and user can interact with that dialog box. User can submit something, user can select something over a drop down and click submit to submit the data to the server. Now it has been very tough or time consuming if we were doing it without the latest HTML's new dialog tag. So let me show you how it was working before and now how it looks when we use the new HTML's dialog tag. So let us switch to the screen and let me show you how it works. Alright, so now I am in my screen and I have opened the examples in an HTML playground website. Now this is a very simple example, basic example without the dialog box. If you see here, I have written some CSS like we have created a hidden class, then we have a model container ID which have some position fixed, top, left, width, height, background color, blah blah blah. So many CSS we have written, and then we have a button, and for the button also we have written some CSS, and after that in HTML we have one button called open model. You can see over it here, and this is the title, I mean the heading. And then we have this model container where we are showing what is the content of the model. So in this model, we are just showing some message with a close button. Now you can see over here, we have written some script to show that model. Now to show the model, we have created couple of elements. So we are gathering it with the JavaScript code get element by ID. So we have a open model button, we have a close model button, and we have a model container. So we have these three different constant variables. Now when we click on those buttons, what should happen? It should basically call the remove function. So what it will do, it will just remove this hidden functionality when we click on the close button. Same way we have applied the add functionality when we click on the close model button. So whenever we want to close the pop-up, we will just add the hidden class over there. So that's how it is working here. And we have used window.add event listener, which will just see where you have clicked it. So now you can see this is the code for a simple code to create a model in HTML, CSS and JavaScript. Now if I click on this button, you can see we have this model coming up. We do need to fix couple of CSS over here, but you can see we cannot interact anywhere in the page. And whenever we click on the close model, it will just disappear. The model disappears. Now let me show you how the same code can be done using simple HTML's dialog box tag. So if I switch to another code, another HTML playground, you can see this is the page output. I have this dialog methods as a heading, and then we have two buttons. One button is called show none model dialog, and the second one is called show model dialog. So basically we have two types of model. One model is a model which will appear with user to have option to interact with the web page, and the second model will not let user to interact with the web page. Now let me show you first, then we will go to the code. If I click on the show none model dialog, so you will get this dialog box. Okay, but now if you see, you can interact with it. Like I can select this text, I can copy it. So the original functionality is working for the page. This dialog is not interrupting your work. But if let me close this by clicking on close, and if I click on the show model dialog, now a model dialog will not let user to interact with the page when it is, it is being shown. So you cannot select and copy the dummy text below the dialog box. So this is how dialog works in HTML using HTML dialog tag. Now let me show you the code. The code is very simple. We have not written any CSS. That is the first thing. I just created this CSS to show you the background white. Okay. Now we have one button called show none model dialog, and then we have a dialog. So use dialog tag to show the dialog. So if you see here, we have just used a dialog tag. We have given the ID none dialog, none model dialog, and another dialog we have used with the ID model dialog, and both the dialog will have one h2, one p tag, and another button that is just going to close the model. So what happens, we have just used the document.get element by id to create these variables. Now these four constant variables which will have the reference of these four ids. Now when we click on the non-model button, okay, it will just call the show method on the dialog. So if we call a show method on any of the dialog ID, it will just show the dialog box with user to have option to interact with the page. But if we just call the show model, it will just create a standard model with no option to modify because it's a model. So this is how it is very simple to create a dialog box using HTML's dialog tag. I hope this video is clear to you. If you like this video, do subscribe my channel and share this video with your friends who are also a web developer. Let's meet in the next video.